Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Friday Namaste gathering, where we allow the light to break through the shadows of our consciousness so that we can choose finally to see as God sees, to love as God loves, and to know what God knows. That's it right there. We're going to hear those words in today's lesson. To see as God sees, to feel as God feels, and to know what God knows. Those three experiences form the entire foundation for this great awakening that we find ourselves fully embraced by. Fully embraced by. We don't embrace it, it embraces us. When we allow that embrace, oh my goodness, such joy, such brilliance. And that's what we're feeling. That's what this joining is all about. That's why we come here, is because we're feeling the light breaking through. Do you feel that? Do you know what I mean? Do you feel the light breaking through your consciousness and revealing who you really are and who you've always been? Is there anything more, anything better than that? Not in my mind. When I feel that light breaking through, especially when it feels like I've been living in the shadows for so long, and suddenly the clouds part and the light breaks through, there is nothing greater. That's the experience. You can sit and you can read and you can study for years, for decades, for lifetimes. But it's only when you surrender into that light that it breaks through. And the truth of who you are is revealed, because it can only be revealed by the light itself. It can never be revealed by the mind, which is held in shadows. It can only be revealed by the light. And that's the experience. That's why we're here. So, last night I wrote a song, about that. I thought I would share it this morning. One of those short little quick songs that, at least for me, just take me right to my heart. So it's called Only Love is Real. Only love is real. Only love. Only love is real. Only love. There is no reason for you to be afraid, for only love is real. God alone is love. God alone. God alone is love. God alone. And you are held within that sacred heart, for God alone is love. You are so holy, it's time for you to know. You are so holy, it's time for you to know. There's nothing left for you to do or to go. You are so holy, and it's time for you to know. Your eyes are open, at last you can see. Your eyes are open now, at last you can see. Reach out your hand to me. Your eyes are open, and at last you can see. At last you can see. At last you can see. Your eyes are open. Your eyes are open. For only love is real. Only love. Only love is real. Only love. There's no reason for you to be afraid, for only love is real. This and every day, only love. Only love. Just hold still for a moment. Just breathe in those words. Only love is real. Only love. There's no reason for you to be afraid, for only love is real. And God alone is love. God alone. And you are held within that sacred heart, for God alone is love. You are so holy, and it's time for you to know that there's nothing left for you to do or any place for you to go. For you are so holy, and that's all you need to know. Your eyes are open now. At last you can see. Just reach out your hand to me, for your eyes are open. And finally, you can see. Yes, so simple. But that's the whole thing, isn't it? Open up your eyes, see where you are, see who you are, who you've always been. And you see that by seeing whoever's right in front of you. Truly see them as God sees them. And then you'll know that you have forever been seen as well. But you can only know that when you choose to see as God sees, which kind of launches us into the lesson for today. So let me share this, and then we'll open it up as we do. And once again, just drink in these words. This is to be experienced, not understood intellectually. You're not here to get this. You're here to allow it to get you. So take a deep breath and drink this into the deepest part of who you are. I am asking you to fully join with whoever you find in front of you. To fully join whoever you find right in front of you. It could be anyone, and the details don't matter at all. The only thing that matters is your willingness to see as I see and to love as I love. And then you will know what I have always known. Only then will you realize that you are seen and loved and that there's nothing you can do to interrupt the grace I have held safe for you. You may deny that grace and choose to live in the shadows, but I see you in the light of the grace that we share. The light of the grace we share. And there is nothing you can do to change that. Accept what I am offering and then give it away. Do not hold on to it for a single instant. For if you try to do that, it will dissolve and it will seem as if you've lost this gift. But if you become the source, just as I am the source, then you will never lose what was never lost. Once again, you will never lose what was never lost. Hear these words again, once more. You can never lose what was never lost. Herein lies the secret you've been searching for your entire life. You may think you've lost something simply because you believe that you are lost in a forest so dark. But I am here to bring light and to show you where you've always been, held within the heaven that is your true home. The heaven that is your true home. If we but choose to see in every moment, in every situation, as God sees, wholeness. When we make that choice, when we choose to enter into that illumined consciousness, what we call the illumined mind, you choose to see as God sees. It's a choice to see things as they really are, as whole, as one. Something breaks through within you, a light so bright that you can't even believe it was always there. How could you not have seen this? That's the first realization. It was always there. How could I not have seen this? And then if you continue to see that journey takes place into the heart where you can now love as God loves. Love everything exactly as it is, not trying to change anything. To love everything within its wholeness. And then finally, within that, these two, what we call the illumined mind and the awakened heart, come together into the realized soul, where we finally know what God knows, what has always been known, that you are one, that you never left your home, that all of reality, all of your brothers and sisters are contained within that wholeness. This is the only thing that we're here to share, to join within, and to experience. I think the main theme that we've heard here all week is that there are no teachers. There's no one above or below. There's only joining. There may be some that are called to share in one way and others who are called to share and to join in another, but it's all the same, really. This is the most important lesson, that it's all the same, because we are all held within that same grace. If we but choose to see as God sees, to love as God loves, and then finally to know what has always been known by God, this becomes very simple, very real, and very, very bright. That's why I'm out at the ocean today. I wanted to feel that brightness and to feel your radiance, each and every single one of you. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Vicki and bring her voice into this same radiance. Good morning, Vic.
Morning, Jimmy. Good morning, everyone. Well, Jimmy, you were very practical today and gave us all a very practical solution. And the practicality is simply, we see the body or we see the spirit. And when we see the spirit, it doesn't mean we don't see the body, but it's not our focus. The body doesn't interfere with the radiance of the soul, of the spirit, when that's what we're looking for. And that's where the choice is in our mind. Whether it's our neighbor, our brother, our partner, Donald Trump, everyone. There's no exception.
What? Are you serious? Hold on.
I'm serious.
Are you really? Oh my God. Even that. Okay. All right.
Even that, because perhaps now more than ever, that's the best example. Because we see, even when we hear, the best in time speakers, they're talk is often about the negativity of a brother, of what he's done, of this and that. And more than ever, if we can stand in the recognition of only each other's holiness, then we will bring that to the surface and let the falling away, the dismantling, the underpinnings of a culture based on looking at the body or separation fall as it is. But we are the new earth, the new world. We are the breath of that. And it, just like in the Old Testament, it took a minion, 10 men to save a city. It doesn't take everyone to have Christ's vision, this God vision, but it does take me, and it takes you, Jimmy, and all of us that are on this call, because we're called to it and we recognize that it's true. And if we can be alert to the holiness that's always all around us, the bus driver, the street sweeper, everyone, and make it our life's business to enjoy each other's holiness. And then the next step is to listen to one another. But it's like, don't listen to the words. The words are very confusing. The words were meant to not communicate. Words are whatever he says, symbols twice removed. Yeah. Their intention was not to communicate. So don't listen to anyone's words. Listen to the melody. Listen to the softness that's really calling either for help or giving help and giving love. Listen for it. But don't be fooled by the outside exterior. That's only bait for the ego. We've come too far and we've held each other's hands long enough to recognize that seeing the spirit is not such a difficult thing. It's just a focus. It's only a focus of intention and willingness. And our heart, what's an awakened heart? It's just a heart willing to love. Yeah. I'm just willing to love no matter what disguise you have, what costume you're wearing. That's all Mother Teresa did. She said, I treated Jesus, the Christ, in all his disguises. That's all we're doing. But especially in the disguises that people have railed against and made an idol of separation around. This is our time to hold holiness of every brother in our hearts, in our minds, and now integrated into our soul as our very being. We need to be the integration of that mind and heart. We need to be the radiation of love without opposite, happiness, joy without opposite, unconditional love. And whatever the scripts are never under, or the laws of God are not restricted by the laws of the world. So the laws of God of grace and love are not restricted by the laws of time and separation. So let the script of time and separation be what it is. But if we stay in the law of grace, which runs above the seeming time and space stuff, we are the vehicles, the conduits that bring our brothers into this higher way of seeing and being by our being it, by our joy, by our sweetness. It's a sweetness to only want to bless one another. And don't hold anyone accountable and limited to their deeds. It's not their deeds that we would herald, but it's the being of Christ that we share our oneness with. That holy oneness is without exception. And if ever there was a time when there's a particular focus, this is the time, so that our experience of stepping forward and refusing anything except this holy vision to see as God sees, as we do that, we literally become a force here in time because we're integrated into it to help others breathe and move into that. So we must listen to one another, but not listen to the words. Listen to the melody, to the love that's coming. And if it isn't love coming, let's give the love that's being called for, because there's no threat. When we live under God's laws, there's no threat. That's why it's joy without opposite, because once we have turned our will over and said, dear God, you got it. What's today's lessons? I give my life to God to run today. There's no opposite. Everything is happily ever aftering in God's laws, no matter how they show up here in time, in and out of space and time, it doesn't matter. The experience of God's love is eternally so too wonderful.
too wonderful, yes.
Too wonderful. So we are being called to that. We're like the frontier pioneers. we're the everything right now. And it doesn't matter if we look like we're in our little bedrooms or remote someplace in some woods. It's what communicates is the force of our being, the love in our hearts and minds. And the more it's integrated into us without exception, the stronger the communication. So here we are, communicating that life is of God. And we will be shown what to do in timely matters, because those laws of grace give direction that's perfectly helpful, even here in time and space. So we don't have to worry that, oh, we're going to let someone get away with something or it's going to fall apart. Just stay, my job, stay under the vision of love and God's laws of light. That's where we want to remain. That's our location. That's our residence. And as we stay there, whatever is needed here in time, we go march or we go give or we go serve or whatever we do, we go to the beach. We're communicating. God's love is all there is. And don't be afraid. God's love is open-hearted, open-armed, generous. And we are the bringers of that. Thank you, Jimmy.
Oh my gosh, you're on fire today, Vicki. And we're all on fire, because when one of us is on fire, we can all feel the heat and we can hear that music. That's one of the things Teddy said the other day, is that song, oh, listen to the music, came on right when he heard those words. Just listen to the music, feel the vibration, feel the radiance, feel the heat of that fire that's burning deep inside each one of us. Fan that flame so that it burns away everything that we don't need. And then the only thing that's revealed is who we really are, the truth of who we are and have always been. I'm so grateful. And I'm so grateful to be able to share this in so many different ways. And I do want to make just a really quick plug for one of those other ways. I think most of you know that I've been preparing a really big course for the Shift Network based on the radical example of St. Francis of Assisi. And tomorrow is the day that the free part of that course drops. And there are almost 10,000 people who are signed up for that. So in a moment here, I'm just going to put just in case you haven't, I'll put the link here in the chat. So if any of you have not gotten that already, you can do, oh, sorry, I sent that to Linda only. Anyway, I'll figure out how to do that. And that way you can all join that. So be wonderful to have all of you there. Oh, there we go. Okay, there we go. So in case you haven't signed up, as I said, tomorrow is the free part of it, and there are going to be thousands of people watching it tomorrow. And it's really just the same thing we're saying every single day. And to some people, that seems like a radical thing, just as it did in the time of Francis. It's just as radical today as it was then, or as it was 2,000 years ago. But it's radical in this moment. You can choose it, and then a radical change happens. A radical light is revealed, but we have to be willing and make that choice. So anyway, let's go ahead and open it up and see if there's anybody else